Alright guys, this is the best sunscreen I've ever used. And it's homemade, and there is 3 ingredients. And the only other ingredient is the colouring, which you can use any natural ingredient you want, depending on the colour. And I've used some clay oxides, which I suppose they use in foundation makeup. So these are your 3 ingredients. Castor oil, 100% pure certified organic. Cold pressed shea butter. The shea butter gives it that really good water resistance. It's a very waxy kind of substance. And zinc oxide powder. Zinc oxide powder is your sunscreen. That's what screens out the UV. So what we're doing at the moment is the initial stage. I've put 1 litre of castor oil in the pot and warming that up, not to boiling, just get it warm, just enough to melt the shea butter. And shea butter is what they use in things like lip gloss and balm, so just to moisturize the lips, and lipsticks. So zinc oxide powder is also used in sunscreens and exterior paints. So I'm a painter by trade, and I found the ones with the highest amount of zinc oxide powder percentage normally last the longest outside. So the weather, the sun in Australia is pretty extreme, but I've been testing this on North Stradbroke Island, where I live and work, 6 days of the week, and it is totally water resistant. And I do about I do nearly a 50% mix of zinc oxide powder to castor oil. So I put in 1 litre of castor oil, so I will put in 500 ml of zinc oxide powder, which is huge, the sunblock effect on that. I'd probably get away with 30% for a really good sunblock outage. But I basically saturate it as much as I can. Just dissolve as much as I can into it. It's non-nano, so I don't really want the nano oxide powders. I don't want anything penetrating inside my body, all exterior, and I'll show you the results. Alright guys, so I've just put the shea butter in. So here we have 300 grams. So I've put in about probably 200 grams out of that 300. So I put my finger in that oil before, and I've turned the gas right down. Alright, so I've just tipped in that zinc oxide powder. So 454 grams have gone into 1 litre of castor oil, organic, and about 200 grams of shea butter, which is the water resistance. And you can see it's getting that milky kind of look. Alright guys, this is cooled down now. You can see that a little bit thicker. You put it up against the wall and you can see it. It's pretty smooth. There's not a lot of grit in there now. All that zinc is dissolved. And it pretty much just looks like normal sunscreen. So I go ahead and put it into some smaller jars, and that's where I'll add my coloured powder, rock oxides, and colour it up. And these are my colourings that I'm going to colour my sunscreen with. I've been testing this formula for about 3 years on North Stradbroke Island, and it is the best. I was really annoyed with stinging eyes when I was duck diving waves surfing, and you know, you can just feel that these chemicals aren't good for you. I mean, if it burns your eyes, it's doing harm of some sort. So what we have here is, these are just some local rocks. So it's like a sandstone rocks. And these are just different coloured rocks that I've collected. And I actually, a friend told me to dry them out in the oven first, just to get rid of any moisture. And then I put them in an old blender. I had an old blender. And you can see they're just different colours. There's some whites in there. Some very chalky kind of rock. And so I got all the similar colours, and I basically blended them up and made powders out of them. So you can see it's like a terracotta coffee. And then for my black, I just use charcoal powder, just for the black. And this is a stronger terracotta colour. And this here is one that I bought. So I just wanted to have a look. So the guy at the paint shop said these are for, one, they use them for concrete, but he said they're natural oxides. So just naturally sourced oxide from rocks and ground up. I mean, I don't see why they would synthesize stuff like this, but you can see that's a dark terracotta. So that's one that, you know, you can get, it's quite cheap. You can go to your local hardware shop and you got concrete coloured powders, and they probably got them for tile grouts as well. So just powders that you add to tile grout and concrete if you want to colour up concrete. So they're basically just earth, a rock of some sort, and different types of colours. So you can see this is a reddy kind of colour. We've got a yellow, like an ochre, and then you've got like a terracotta colour. And to darken it up, I'll just use charcoal powder. And what I do is I just get a skin match on myself. And because the sunscreen is white, that's going to affect the colour range as well. So you do end up using a fair bit of powder just to get that colour right. So you can see here, guys, so this is the sunscreen in its untinted raw kind of stage. So it's pretty milky. That's it. Pretty smooth. Looking good. Alright, so now I'm putting this in the jars. You can see it is thicker down the bottom, so what we're going to do is half fill all the jars, and then with what's left down the bottom I'll put a little bit of each in one. So it's good to leave a bit of room in each jar just for the colour tinting process. So there we go. So just split them up into the jars, and I can start my colour matching. Alright, so now we can do the colour tinting process. So, a little bit of terracotta, a little bit of charcoal. Oh, that could have been too much. So it's good to do a small jar first, and if it's too strong, you just dilute it into the other jars, which will lighten up the colour. So there we've got a nice grey. Got a nice brown. So compared to my skin, it's too strong, but all I have to do is tip that into a white one, and I half that colour strength. So I think I could add a little bit of this one. And tip it half into this one. Look at that. Beautiful. So this is my sunscreen going on. So this is my last batch. So this has lasted me over a year. That 1 litre batch. Not sure what it cost. I'll add it up later. You can see there. So this has been all tinted up using natural clays and rocks. Just ground up in a blender, just to match my skin tone as much as I could be bothered getting it close. So yeah, that's sunscreen on me. And I'm gonna grab the foil, take it for a spin down at Deadman's Head. So yeah, alright. But I'll show you my sunscreen reserve. So that's me sunscreen there, my zinc. It's pretty gritty, homemade, totally natural. Love it.